All right, here we are, ready for the newest season's edition of Harambedome, Into the Harambedome. But now you have two hosts, one a first-time host, one a recurring host. How many times have you been host?
I've been host. I've been kicked off because of my views, and now I'm host again. So I don't know. I don't count. I can't count.
All right, well, we're back. And as you can see on the screen, there's an image of Harambe, unfortunately with the child that got him killed. Well, let's have a league moment of silence here for Harambe.
Love you, Harambe. Miss you, Harambe.
Every day. All right.
All right, let's get into
All
it.
right. Yep. And just as we're getting into it, just want to show, there he is.
Oh, you had a replica made?
Oh no, that's if you notice right at the end, my name's on there. So yeah,
Oh,
yeah, we're going.
there is
We're gonna
definitely no
see.
shenanigans involved in that.
No, none at all. I don't have
Nothing
too much
like,
power to
not
manipulate our
notifying the
scores or
league
anything
that
like that.
there's no $0 bids, nothing like that.
No, no one knew about the $0 bids though, so or the $1 bids, I should say. So it's fine. Just just rule breaking. All right.
So the first episode is just us, right? No guests,
No
no.
guests. We're getting everybody. We're letting everybody who's not a host kind of get a good listen. Everyone gets to listen this week because it's definitely less. You always go back and listen if you're on because we've both been non-hosts. You always go back and listen if you're on, but it's more fun to just get the
Yeah,
fresh content. So we're giving everybody fresh content this week. Everybody
understood.
stuff to listen to. Um, and our first guest, who's not going to be mentioned yet, will be on next week.
Okay.
But we'll
Yeah, it should be a good season from the lineup I've seen. You've been able to secure.
Yeah, we've got a few so far. We've got a few. We actually have, I'm not going to say anything. We have a first timer coming a little bit later.
Nice.
So, again, I won't name names, but, we have some classics. It's a long season, too. We have, 18 weeks of this? 17 weeks of this?
Something like that.
Yeah, so we'll get everybody
Yeah,
psyched.
I don't think you have to name names for them to know who the first timer is, but way to keep it a secret.
Let's, anyway, let's move on. All right. So, usually we start with win of the week, right? We don't want to do we want to do a draft recap? This is all live. We don't
We do,
collaborate this
but
beforehand, so we're
but yeah,
we're
yeah,
we're
let's
going.
do a little draft. Who do you think coming out of the draft? Who would you say, looking at their team, take away week one? Who did you see week? Who did you see after the draft? Be like, damn, they got a fucking squad.
Well, let's see. Let's get my
I would
ESPN.
say my answer to that would be probably Vava
Okay.
coming right out of the draft. Snagged Jonathan Taylor, was able to get Josh Allen, Debo, T. Higgins, and I mean, whatever their performance was week one, I looked at that team and I was like, okay, Va, actually did not draft a bad team.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that Va. I was texting because Tuck was asking me who I thought had drafted the best team, and when I looked through them, Va definitely stood out for sure. I mean, because when you have he pulled, I mean, it's last season's guys, but he pulled the number one quarterback from last season, the number one running back, and the number two wide receiver.
Yeah,
When you pull those three with your first three picks, that's gonna be solid. And Dalton Schultz, I think, is gonna. I mean, we'll see with Dak now, but I thought at the time he was gonna be an underrated pick. But you can't predict injuries, so I didn't
true.
mind his lineup. Just looked
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, yeah, despite whatever fuck happened week one, just straight out of the draft, if you can put yourself back in that mindset.
right. I was no. I'll be honest. I went through my draft and I was happy with my draft. But then when I saw who other people got and I was looking at lineups, I was like, I went back and looked. I'm like, damn, I could have done this. I could have done this. I was without even
Yep.
having a game played yet. I was like, man, I should have done this and this. But so far, my team shut me up about that. So
Yeah.
that
Well, speaking of your team, that leads us into winner of the week for me, and I got to give it to, as much as I hate to give you credit, I mean, 171 points in week one. You get 5 touchdowns out of Patty. You
Five
get
passing
Justin
touchdowns.
Jefferson popping off.
Yep.
Fuck Miami, get their defense to go brazy. And you beat a man that would have knocked off everyone but 2 people in the league, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Let
I mean,
me.
shit,
I'm trying to keep up
that
with your.
performance by
I appreciate it.
that
Yeah.
performance by you biting kneecaps, that was definitely not something I like to see week one.
Yeah, no, I was happy. I was happy with the results there. Hopefully they keep up. But I didn't have Kittle either because you were right about the Kittle experience. You and JB both. Yeah.
I dealt with
Okay.
it last year and it hurt.
What am I going to again when I'm looking at like just the scoreboard? What am I doing?
Yeah, go to
I'm
scoreboard,
like
then you
trying to
can
listen
click
to
the
you
matchups
and I
there.
guess I can't do two things at once. Trying to listen to you and look for the keep up with where I need to go
Oh,
on
and
my phone.
apparently we no longer have a Wardussi connoisseur in
No, we
this
don't.
league anymore.
No, we don't. We have a
He
Thomas
is
the
now a
Spank Engine.
spank engine named Thomas.
How many how many seasons has Ted gotten Michael Thomas? I think it's going after Michael Thomas, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't remember him being on any other team, and maybe I just haven't paid attention, but I feel like every year Ted has Mike Thomas.
Yeah. No, he does. He always drafts him. And I think I got him last year. Um but then I ended up trading him to Ted for Miles Sanders. Also, does it look like my
Oh,
computer's
so he ended
moving?
up on Ted's team anyways.
Yeah, is my computer moving slow? Am I like lagging at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, it looks like I'm on. I guess it's just the amount of stuff rolling at one time. It's just messing with the laptop. Um, okay, so now I'm finally on the scoreboard for week one. So yes, I can confirm that Ted would have beaten everyone except one, not including me, and that was Follow Spike at
Except
140
you
because
and
he
yeah,
had one
except you
better.
and Follow Spike.
Yep. Yeah, and yeah, I'll say this now. I mean, we'll see what happens. Week one has been a good indicator. In terms of my draft, I've told you this before. I went in with two mindsets, and that was I think Mahomes can have an MVP season because up to last year, no one questioned him. And then remember, he was headlines for multiple weeks where it was like, oh, did Mahomes lose it? Like it was like a roller coaster all season, right? Then he
Yeah,
loses Tyreek Hill, and after not making the Super Bowl, and so it's like, wait, no, who?
you're right.
I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. So he does that after not making the Super Bowl, loses Tyreek Hill. I just feel like he's the type of player who would take that and have an MVP season or close to one. So that was my thought going in, and then with Jay Jeff, I figured with Cooper Cup, I think it was either his wide receivers coach or like an offensive assistant going over to Minnesota with like the resounding opinion seemed to be that Justin Jefferson could like be the best position player in the league. Like, because he has like the durability, the skill set. Like, he's got the height, the speed. Like, it was just a matter of time. He had like a record-setting rookie year, a great year too, and that like you add this guy in to be like the guy who helped Cooper Cup get the triple crown. You would think Justin Jefferson would have like the best wide receiver in the league. So one weekend that is backed up. We'll see if that keeps going. Hopefully it does. For my sake, that's my season
Yeah,
depends on that. So
so far, so looking good for you.
so far so good, but we'll see. Um, my winner of the week, I'd have to say, I'm gonna go ahead and say that my winner of the week is actually Doctor Lieutenant Vava because Cole, in my
Okay,
opinion, had another good team that stood out. He put up
and he
121.
had some good performances too.
He did. Yeah, Cole had a good week, and I think it's respectable beating a team that's having a good week. Like I think that's like Follow Spike put up 140, and obviously the two things don't correlate, like they don't bounce off each other, but still, I mean, he played Scrimp who ended up having the league low. So it's
Yeah,
just, it's good he had the performance Va did to win by 6 points, especially because I was, when it projected Cole to win at certain points, I was sitting there thinking, okay, so I was pretty sure Va had the best team going in and he's going to start 0-1. And because Va and I were having a conversation about how he always thinks he has a good team, but then he gets like horrible luck all year and it just shits the bed. Um,
Yeah.
but clearly that didn't happen. It was looking like it might have happened, but it didn't. So far, I'm gonna crown Va my winner of the week here. So
Yeah, I
his
mean,
his
Vaugh's got a solid squad.
yeah, his players. I mean, Josh Allen put up, Jonathan Taylor put up, and Debo Samuel got double
Yep.
digits. So
The three guys that you would expect to put up points actually did. So,
yeah, for sure. And one guy I didn't expect to put up points was Miles Sanders for JV, putting up 18. I'd like to throw that in there. 18 points for him against the Lions, basically 19. That was annoying. That was sad because the
yeah, I
Lions.
mean,
Did you follow what happened there? The Lions
with
came
that
back
game,
against the Eagles, and then they had a third down where it's like if it was their last chance to stop the Eagles, and they stuffed Miles Sanders in the backfield, and he broke away and got the first down, and so we never got the ball back again to try and win. And so that
yeah, I was
that was.
flipping back and forth to that game because I got Jalen Hurts, but
Mm-hmm.
forget what game I was following. One of the games where I had players on both offenses. I think it was the Titans Giants.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So
But
my
yeah,
my thing's moving slow here. I've accepted that at this point. Hopefully, when this all gets done, my voice isn't super laggy. Um, but okay, the week 2 scoreboard just loaded.
okay.
So you want to go ahead and move into the matchup of the week? Oh no, wait, loser of the week.
Loser of
We
the
have to do
week.
loser of the
So
week.
you had mentioned
I'm
Miles
so
Sanders
nervous.
putting up
I'm so
18.8 points.
yeah. I'll flip
Can
it
you
up.
hear
Go
me?
ahead. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You can hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Go ahead.
So
Loser of the
you had
week.
mentioned Miles Sanders putting up 18.8 points, and he did so against my loser of the week, the King of the West. You see, here's a guy who claims to be a king, but can't even put up 90 points.
That's
Does he
true.
really think he is some sort of royalty? And then he has the gall to go in the chat and claim to still be the king. He'll be returned to glory, whatever he said. Man, fuck the West. It's all about East Gang this year. It's always been about East Gang. And a king in the West is no real king. So he's going to be my loser of the week, mainly just for his attitude and the fact that he got clapped.
I love that take. Um, Also because of how much the War Dusty got feasted on draft night.
Yes.
That
Yes.
that just automatically leads to loser of the week. So no, yeah, definitely at least for now a false king. It would appear a king that's
Yes.
trying to cling to a throne from 2 years ago. So
Correct.
yeah, that throne is I there's a theory Harambe could have gotten upset that he changed the font.
Could be.
Everyone else's font is relatively the same, and they tried to make it relatively the same. He's the only one who just kind of just said, "I'm gonna do what I
He's
want."
like, oh, I'm special. Let me go
Yeah,
bold.
yeah.
And he's
So
definitely the only one that ever mentions past championships.
yeah, yeah,
The only
definitely.
one that like dwells on like past champ. Like, there's no one else that's like, oh, I won twice in a row.
No,
Like, there's no
well,
one else that does that.
there's no one who's won twice in a row. So
Well, there is, but like, that person's not out there like, oh, look at me.
yeah, as the years go on, that very first one is fading pretty bad. Probably because
Is
it's
it?
just really a memory on there. It's really not much. Yeah, hey, listen, man, just go ahead and win now that we're all on the same equal ground, and that'll prove you're a winner.
Look at my.
Um,
All right, listen. We don't need to get into this.
let me just hit loser of the week. Let me just hit loser of the week. My loser of the week, it's gotta go to Scrimp Still Peach? Question mark. So
Yeah, it's
I
tough
know
seeing Scrimp still down there.
I know I'm taking the low hanging peach on this, but he he scored the lowest. I mean, he put up week one 83 points. Now, do I think that's gonna stay like that? No, because if you look at his scores, right, you have Joe Burrow who only gave 25, Eckler gave 10 points, and then Chase Edmonds was his next best scorer at 9 points. So he had two scorers in double digits. In fact,
Yeah.
let me hope this doesn't crash my laptop here, but let me go to Shrimp's page, see what he has.
The thing is, though, you don't expect, while he had a terrible week, you don't expect Joe Burrow to throw or turn the ball over, what, 5 times like he did
No,
last week.
no, you don't.
I mean, 5 turnovers still put up 25 points. You give him back those 10 points. I mean, that's a 35-point week.
Right. Wow.
So, I mean, I
Okay.
feel like there's potential for Scrimp to not be Peach anymore. But week one didn't help him out.
Yeah. By the way, for those listening, we censor Harambedome now. Um,
Yes,
we know what he means by
I
peach.
definitely have. I definitely have not already swore multiple times.
Yeah. No, not at all. We censored him. Yeah. So he had 25 from Butter, 10 from Eckler. He had Elijah Mitchell, who is now on IR, put up 4 points. CD Lamb put up three. Deontay Johnson put up nine. Mark Andrews, see, that's going to change. Mark Andrews is going to have more than seven. Chase Edmonds with the nine. The Colts D. The Colts D, you can take 7 points from a defense.
As a Mitchell owner from last season, sad to see that.
Yeah, but he has Dobbins, who's going to come back soon. He has, I mean, obviously we only have so much time before like your record kind of keeps you from making the playoffs. But he has, Dobbins, who's going to come back. He has, Amari straight out the coop, who, once Deshaun Watson comes back, I know that's a
True.
while, but I mean, it's there. We'll see what happens. But yeah, the Elijah Mitchell IR, it's a tough hit, week one, and then actually I won't spoil the waiver segment. So let's get my computer back to the scoreboard, and we'll hit. If you want to go ahead and start while it's loading, we can do the matchup of the week. Which the matchups start tonight with Thursday Night Football. So, what do you got?
No, I mean, I think his roster is solid. I just think they had a bad week one. And I mean, I don't know for sure how many of these guys played in the preseason, but maybe it's shaking off some preseason cobwebs. Maybe now they got a week under their belt, maybe they'll start performing.
So, do you want to go ahead and give your week two projection? Matchup of the week. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can Can you hear me?
I'm talking. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Let's uh let's see what happens to the speed of all this if we take our
Real,
faces off.
real laggy. I don't know if you can hear me or not. It'd help if you like nodded your head if you could hear me.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's lag. You can hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? I think that's still a no.
Yeah, can you hear me? Is
I
that
can hear
better?
you,
No
but can
video?
you can you hear me? Can you not hear me?
I can hear you. It's just real laggy.
Okay, it's still laggy?
Now it's better without the video, but we
Okay.
should fix that for next week. Try to figure out something.
Yeah, no, I agree. We'll definitely try and figure out what to do for that. But you want to leave it on this for now so it doesn't lag so much?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So, I was saying, do you want to go ahead and go for the matchup of the week?
Yeah. So looking at week 2, I feel like we are. I don't feel like we are still early in the year. So it's kind of difficult to really see what storylines are building, what's going on. So I'm just going to go based off of close projections. And I mean, it is a little bit of an East matchup. I'm going to go with Biting Kneecaps versus Follow Spike. We got your guys' quarterbacks are facing off tonight. Um, I mean, I'd like to see if Justin Jefferson can put up another monster performance. Just both these rosters, based off of projections, look pretty even, and I want to see how that shakes out. If it ends up being as close as it's projected to be.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm definitely. I mean, clearly, I'm looking forward to that matchup. Hoping my team can keep up because after going 1-0 against. So let me ask this: did I go 1-0 against the Ward Ducey or Connoisseur? Or did I go 1-0 against Thomas the Spank Engine?
Against the Ward Ducey. So
Okay.
now I think you take his title of being a Ward Ducey connoisseur.
Okay. All right. So yeah. Okay. So now I'm the Ward Ducey Connoisseur. All right. That'll be like a little subtitle I'll have. But yeah. See. So now going from a high scorer to what could be another high scorer this week. That is making me a little nervous. But let's.
Yeah, it's true. Y'all were also both the top scorers last week, so
Yeah. Yep. So let's
damn,
see.
I'm good at picking these things.
Well, not better than me, kid, because I'm picking for my matchup of the week what I consider the toilet bowl of the week. Living in Babylon
Oh,
against
great.
Scrimp Still Peach question mark. These are two teams that one barely got to 100 and the other one was the lowest scoring team in the league. They both took L's. Derrick Henry had a disappointing week, right? Jalen Hurts' team put up 38 points, yet Jalen Hurts was only in the 20s score wise.
Because they
Saquon
fucking run
Barkley's
the
a
ball
beast.
nonstop.
Saquon Barkley's a beast if he stays healthy. Um, but then you have on the flip side, what is Scrimp going to do here to readjust? It's actually projected that Derek Carr is going to score more than Joe Burrow. So I'm thinking he's probably conflicted right now, the Scrimp, with Derek Carr projected for 23.81 and Burrow projected for 23.8. You think he's shaking in his boots over that?
Um, I think he'll stick with Joe Burr.
Yeah, he will. No doubt he
I
will.
think he's got faith. I think he just has Carr on his bench because he likes to have like I think he called it a ratio on his team.
Okay. Yeah, and also by the way, without the
Something about his
cameras,
team being too dark or something like that.
my stuff is moving at perfect speed. Am I not laggy at all now in my voice?
No, now I hear you fine.
Yeah, see, without the cameras off, my ESPN is like moving perfectly fine now too. So I guess that's something we'll either try to fix or just deal with one way or the other.
Yeah.
Um, okay, yeah. I mean, I see you're putting Gabe Davis in wide receiver too. Oh wait, hold on a second. Where's Derrick Henry?
Sitting on my bench.
That's gonna change, right?
I don't know. My flex plays tonight, so I guess we'll find out.
Listen, why don't we? And if memory serves me correct, this is going to be the first live on-air trade. Well, let's work something out where you get me Derrick Henry,
I already told you what my terms for Henry are. You give me Chubb and the Sun God, and he's yours.
Chubb and the Sun God. So some Amon Ra action and Nick Chubb. You know, that's a tough sell because you're. I'm replacing a running back one with. Granted, I understand the difference between a top tier Henry RB1 and a Chubb RB1, but still, my current RB1 and my wide receiver two for just an RB1. That's I don't know. I think Amon Ra can be pretty good. So
All right. Well, then, how about you just stop asking me about Henry, and I'll discuss trade options with others.
listen, I'm trying to help you. So let's do Pat Fryermuth
Get
and
out of here.
Devin
Listen.
Duvernay, and we're good. First live trade. Come on, are you gonna? Do you not want to make history? I guess that's a no. All right, we'll move on. Yes, but I'm excited for you and Tuck's toilet bowl matchup. I think this is a good chance at redemption for you. I was gonna say Derrick Henry, but I guess that's not the case. I guess we'll see what
No,
happens.
he's facing off against a formidable Buffalo defense, dog.
Oh, I didn't even look at that. Wow. Okay. I'm looking at the bounce back week for Mark Andrews against Miami. I think that's something you have to
Yeah.
look out for. He's he's got. I know Amari Cooper didn't really do much last week, but he's leaving C.D. Lamb in with Cooper Rush at quarterback. So I guess we'll see what happens. But I expect Burrow to have a better week against Dallas. I expect Eckler to play better tonight against Kansas City than he did. Um. Oh, and Dobbins is in the flex. So Dobbins is going to be playing. He'll probably be in the flex. Did this? No, it was because it was last week's. Okay. All right. So we have our winners of the week. We have our losers of the week. We have the matchups of the week. What do we got left? We gonna look at some waiver wire?
Yeah, let's check that out. Let's see who did what on the waivers.
Okay. All right. Let me get this here for all of our loyal fans. Let me pull this up. Let's start with the offers report, and then we'll look at the budget summary section. Of course, gotta hit the budget
All right.
summary. So Wednesday, okay? Because normally when we look at this, we'll be looking on at only Wednesdays. Actually Wednesdays and Thursdays, right? Today, no, we'll be looking at only Wednesdays.
Yeah, only
So
Wednesdays.
we got. Let's break this down. So you got Cade York for nothing.
Yep.
I put down on Zay Jones as my last option. You got Jarvis Landry for $2. I think that was actually a pretty good deal for just $2. Um, I think it's Jahan Dotson. I did not get because he was a backup because I put $6 down for Devin Duvernay and I got him. What do you think? Overspend?
On Duvernay,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like possibly because he only had what 4 targets. Granted, 2 of them were touchdowns, but I think that kind of overinflated his points.
For sure.
But I don't know if that Baltimore offense is going to be slinging it like they were. Probably won't be a bad snag.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even. Did you realize that guy was a Pro Bowl returner last year?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he's a Pro Bowl returner, and I just have a feeling Lamar trying to do this contract year thing is just going to be slanging it. So he could be a good like bye week wide receiver to throw in, or maybe he might get better. Who knows?
Yeah,
So we'll see. I mean, I didn't want to spend too much, but I didn't know who would be going after wide receivers. And then
I mean, clearly he burned the defense twice, so
yeah, we'll see what
there's probably
happens.
something to say about that.
So 4 people put in a claim for my name is Jeff.
And Jeff,
You $4 didn't get it. Va $7 didn't get it. Beck $10 didn't get it, and then Anime Thighs Saved Lives spent $20 on Jeff Wilson.
which is a big drop of money, but I didn't see the report on how long Mitchell's expected to be out. Is in an extended period of time,
Um,
like because I feel like if this is a little 4 week, 5 week snag, then $20 is a little steep. But if this ends up being like half a season type deal,
yeah, I mean he's on IR, so there's that.
so yeah, he's at least out what 6 weeks.
I think it's at least 6. Yeah.
Okay, so
So
yeah, maybe it's not a bad. If it can help you pick up 6 wins, I'd spend $20 for that.
yeah, I couldn't agree more. All right, and then last but not least, I spent $7 on the Steelers D. What do you think?
With no Watt,
With
no
no Watt,
TJ
yep,
Watt,
yep. That's why I didn't put more than seven, actually, to be honest.
7 probably not. I mean, probably not a bad pick. Who's your other defense?
I don't have one. I dropped
Oh, okay.
Miami's defense to get the Steelers. I just don't like the matchups Miami has coming up, and I like the Steelers matchups the next few weeks. So
Yeah, New England, Cleveland, and the Jets.
yeah, I think that's not bad.
Yeah, I'd spend $7. I'd probably say it's not bad
Yeah, because if it was,
if
it
I
was.
didn't have a defense.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna be streaming pretty much unless I find one that ends up sticking. I'll probably just end up streaming because of matchups. And if I this one, 3 weeks, I think is worth $7.
Yeah,
So
it's good to know that you're going to be streaming. I'll be sure to run up the price on defenses.
yeah, and I told Brendan, I texted him yesterday saying I was gonna pick up all the kickers so he couldn't get one and drop all my other players.
Oh, did he have a Blankenship?
No, he had I think he had Butker.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah, who's
was
out.
wondering if he had the dude that got cut.
Yeah, and that's what we look at today. Going to today's offer report, you got Burkhead for nothing, which I think that's a
Yes.
decent ad, especially for nothing. Burkhead seems to be like as the rookie's coming along, he looks like he might be the lead back there.
Yeah, right
Um,
now he's out snapping Damon Pierce. So said if I could get him for free, I got a little bench spot for him.
yep. Greg Joseph picked up by Fall Spike for nothing. Okay, makes sense. And then so JB spent $5 on Taysom Hill at tight end. Okay, what are your thoughts?
I think Taysom Hill, he is that little gadget guy. I feel like maybe his points are inflated by that touchdown, but I don't know. Maybe now that he's cemented as a tight end and they're like, you're no longer a QB, maybe they work him more into the offense. And if that's the case, then he's probably a good snag
Yeah,
for
I
$5. I
mean,
mean, $5 isn't that much in the scheme of things.
no, it's not that much. And as someone who's a habitual overspender, I'm not one to judge when people drop, the money they think is necessary. But I will say, uh, as with $0 bids, I guess it matters less. But $5 on the second day of waivers, I just feel like if Taysom Hill was going to get picked up, it would have been because I thought about picking up Taysom Hill, but then I thought about the same stuff that you did about if the points are inflated.
But
Um,
you also look, and I mean, JB really, his tight end was Cole Kmet. He scored 0 points. So if he
yeah,
could throw
so
Taysom in there and even get 3 points out of him a week or something like that, like a few carries. Because I assume they're going to do that every so often. At least every game, give him a couple carries, maybe a few catches, something like that.
right. And I think so. This is where, correct me if I'm wrong, but JB might get a game where if Jameis gets hurt, right? Taysom will come in and he'll get the points for quarterback that game at a tight end spot, and
Yeah, I think
that
so.
scenario is possible. But then, like, say Jameis's injury is extended, um, Taysom Hill, they'll switch him to quarterback, right?
Um,
Like I'm
I
saying, like
don't
the
know
league,
that.
like
I don't know that
ESPN,
about. Yeah,
ESPN
that's
will.
that's the thing I don't know. I think they would keep him at. That's a good question. I don't know how that would work.
Okay, because I think we've had a Taysom Hill conundrum before with this stuff, where it was like he was in another.
And he
It
was
was
listed as a QB tight end, I think,
it was
where you could
something.
start him in either spot.
Yeah, and now he's just tight end.
So if that happens again, then I mean, I would think they would do the same thing where you can start him as a QB or a tight end.
Yeah, if they do that, I mean, then if they do that, I mean, that's a steal because even the worst quarterbacks are. Well, I shouldn't say that because the worst quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers are putting up 3 points. Um,
But if I'm
but
if I'm correct and my memory is
uh huh,
true,
what's
when
that?
that happened when that happened last season, it didn't really have an impact. Like I don't think he ended up scoring that many points.
What Taysom Hill?
Yeah, probably more than a tight end, but I don't think it was like a huge impact.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, hey, like you said, he really didn't have anybody, so this is not a bad snag. And $5 really isn't that hard of a sell for me. If you want to get your guy, you get your guy for $5.
Yeah.
So let's look at what I think, and I'm pretty sure it's everybody's favorite part of this, and
Oh,
that's the budget
100%.
summary, where we look at what everyone has left. So,
Real
T,
quick, how? Oh, there we go.
you found it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So T Nug has 100. Wardle's got 100. Um, the what is it? Thomas the Spank Engine. Ted Thomas the Spank Engine's
Yes.
got 100. Follow Spike's got 100. After that, you've got $98, which is you, and then $97. That really changed because I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, so you picked up three players, but you still have $98. So that $0 bid thing really is like
Yeah, it's
impactful
it's
right off the
helpful.
bat. Okay, so $97 is a tie with the Yarny broker, Cole Papa
Fuck the
V.
Yarnies.
Yeah, the damn Yarny broker. And then Vava has 97. Then there's Hurt Me Again Lamar, which I don't know if Lamar's going to hurt him again because I think
I don't
Lamar's
think
going to
so.
ball out if he's not
Lamar's
hurt.
a dog.
Yeah, especially when he's betting on himself and like trying to prove that he can make a ton more money. He's probably going to
And when he
ball out.
looks more yoked this season,
Yeah, he's probably headed for a big year. So I don't think Lamar's going to hurt him. And then there's me with 87 because I dropped the 7 and the 6. And then there is Anime Thighs who dropped the 20, so he's got 80 left.
nice.
Interesting. All right,
That's
and
such a
then
captivating segment.
I know, right? I just feel like everybody like they get to hear their name, they're all excited. You
They
get to
get to
see
see how much money they got, even though they probably know.
even though they know what everyone pretty much has, because when they go to look at them, you can see everybody. Um,
But the thing is, it may be boring, but this is episode one. We'll improve. Yeah, the first half of the episode maybe was a little laggy, but
oh,
we'll come
episode
up with
one,
something.
yeah. I mean, we might look back and this is just a total dumpster fire, but hey, you
But
know
it's
what?
going up either way.
It's going up. We're starting from somewhere, and we'll have guests coming on. It's
Yes.
always, and I think it sets a good precedent when you start with no guests and then you start having the guests flow through. So
Yeah, I
we'll have
agree.
our first guest next week. Next week. Now, my question is, can I see Watson on here?
Yeah, if you go to,
What do I have to do?
I'm talking like I know, but I'm just going through things. I'll go to standings, maybe,
Yeah, maybe.
and then final standing projections.
Final set. So let's see what Watson's doing here. Let's have a, you know what? Let's do a segment called the Watson segment.
See who's moving, who's
Where we see,
trending.
yeah, let's see who's moving. Let's see, yeah, the
Oh,
trending
dude,
up,
I'm trending
trending
good,
down.
baby. I'm up 3 spots.
You are up 3 spots. That's crazy. You moved all
Look
the
at
way up.
King
You
of the
lost it.
West.
You lost and moved up 3 spots.
Oh my gosh, look at King of the West. That is so funny.
Where's King? Where is he? Where is he?
He dropped into the spot that I was once in. How
Oh,
does
there he
Anime
is.
Thighs beat me but move to last?
That's interesting.
You question Watson.
Oh, I mean, you always have to question Watson. It's all just based
You
on
have somebody get
projection.
hurt? I gotta look at his team.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this Watson segment is sponsored by Snickers. Is that the ad that's on yours too?
I just clicked on Anime Thighs team. Let me see. Yes, it is sponsored by
Yeah. So we're
Snickers.
we're now sponsored by Snickers. Do you think if Harambe had a Snickers, things would have been different?
I think if that little kid had a Snickers,
What would have
maybe he wouldn't
happened?
have
He wouldn't
jumped.
have been jumping
Maybe he
in
wouldn't have.
cages.
Yeah, maybe he wouldn't have been a dumbass and gotten our fucking savior killed.
Oh, just disgusting. Just disgusting. Yeah. And maybe, you know what? Maybe Shrimp's team just needs a Snickers.
Yeah,
You know what?
it's
But even
possible.
though Shrimp, I mean, he drops 2 spots, but he scored the least amount of points, and he's not even like there's still
Yeah,
8, 9, and 10
yeah, he's not
behind
even
him.
the plum of the league.
Yeah. And then you have so 1, 2, and 3 did not move either. So
No, they didn't.
interesting. So that's what Watson's got to say. Oh wait, what's this? Oh, the chat's here too. Okay, the league chat. There's only one more Dissy connoisseur, and that's me now. Um, yeah. What is it with the what? I need to ask. First episode. I know we're wrapping up here, but I need to ask. What's up with these chat boys that they put out this false fucking narrative that anyone can be a chat boy, and then you
You
just
can be a
reject.
chat boy.
No, because I've tried to be accepted into the chat boys, and I've just been getting rejected all
No,
the
you're
seasons.
accepted. What you asked was our chat boys were Dussy boys, and all I
Okay,
said was no. There's only one more Dussy connoisseur.
so are chat boys gaslighters? Because I'm referring to all of last season when I tried to be a chat
Oh well,
boy.
that was a different season. We kind of had like a convening of the minds, and we came together.
You there? Can you hear me? It's not lagging. See, this happened because he's trying to get out of answering the question about how chat boys are actually this exclusive group who provide this false hope. But I
Can you
asked
hear me?
this. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Yeah. So no, all I'm saying is chat boys are now a lot more open to accepting people.
All right. Well, hey. You know what? You're open. Let's do this live. Let's do it live. League chat. I just said, "Am I a chat boy?" Go ahead. Answer, chat boy.
Well, I'm not even gonna lie. My computer died, so I'm talking to you on my phone. But I will respond after this.
Okay. All right. So is that going to be okay, so let's do this. Final thoughts. Anything to say to the league? Anything you got to say to the league as one of the hosts?
I gotta say, watch your backs, cause y'all are gonna be living in Babylon. You currently are, but you'll realize soon. And shout out the chat boys,
Does that include me? Was that a shout out to me?
and also go Bills. Yeah, that includes you.
Oh, hey, there we go. So I guess that makes me a chat boy. All right, yeah.
Listen, just participate in the chat. Be a good contributor to the chat, and yeah, you're a boy.
All right. Yeah, so we're the two co-hosts of the new and improved. Can I say improved Harambedome? Or should I just say
I would
new?
say so.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll say new and improved. The new and improved
This first
Harambedome.
episode is proof of how it improved.
Yeah, exactly. And we had a Watson segment, so new segment in there.
Yeah, sadly, Shaq doesn't love us anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we trust me, we didn't forget the icy hot. It's just Shaq doesn't sponsor us, so
Right.
we'll come up with some
Until we see the
snicker
check.
take we can do next week when the new guests, the next first guests on. We'll do
Yes.
something like that. All right. Yeah, we'll save hot take segment for the guests. All right. Well, that's a wrap. My final things are, fuck some more Dosey.
Fuck the King of the
And
West.
fuck the King of the West, and of course R.I.P. Harambe. As always,
As always.
we honor him by doing this league. And all right, next week.